Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and I'm super excited about this video because we are going to be making a forest and a few little gingerbread houses out of cake boards. I got these at Walmart. Anyways, you can use any kind of cardboard that you want, but if you can't find what you want, hop over to the cake decorating section at Walmart or Hobby Lobby and pick up some cake boards. Okay, so in case you're wondering, these cake boards on one side are the brown, which is what I want. The other side is white. If I could find some good cardboard that was brown on both sides, I'll be 100 times happier. But so far I have not found that yet. So we're going to just use what I have on hand. And I'm going to show you how I made these adorable little trees, which are still needing some glue. My hot gluing device is heating up right now. Look at this one. It's not finished. Look at this cute little house. So that's where we're going. All right, as you're hopping on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I see my friend Martha is on. Thank you, Martha. I see Susan and Melanie and Nancy and lots of people that I've known for a while. Okay, so this is one that I did, which we'll recreate it in just a minute while I was just fooling around this afternoon. This is one I did yesterday afternoon when I was fooling around. I'm going to be gluing these little stands on. I'll show you how to do that. But I just used my imagination and a pin. One of these chalk paste markers from Magnolia DIY.com. And obviously I have, no artistic abilities whatsoever, but it's still pretty cute, especially when it's combined with the other trees. And this is a little gingerbread house that I made using a stencil. So we'll come back and glue that all together and we'll finish this. All right, step number one is figure out what you want your Christmas trees to look like. So I used these. These are these little Christmas tree things. You get a set of 5. You can get them from MagnoliaDIY.com. I used these as to trace because they were easy. But you don't have to have anything. You can come up with your own Christmas tree just by, sketching it. Let me grab a pencil. And they can be any height you want, any width. So this is totally random. They don't have to be perfect. Can you see that? I'm having problems with Facebook these days. The most dangerous part, if you ask me about this project, is that some cardboard is too thick to cut with scissors, and this specific cardboard really is, which means I have to use this Fiskars, what do they call these? This little knife thing. So if you're going to do it this way, don't let the little people handle this. You do it, and just be super careful what you do. I'm working on a self-healing mat from Magnolia. I've got my little X-Acto knife ready to go. And I'm doing it alongside of a ruler. This cardboard that I have, these baking sheets, are a little bit fussy because the white paper on one side is hard to cut through. Okay, so there's part of it. I feel more comfortable with my X-Acto knife pulling it towards me, but maybe you feel more comfortable going away from your body. I don't know. In general, I feel uncomfortable using this all around. few years ago, I went on that Whole Foods diet. I think that's what it's called, Whole Foods, meaning you're only eating like stuff that is actually from nature. And I had one of those vegetable mandolins at the time. And I was doing sweet potatoes, and using one of those mandolin slicers reminds me of this. I cut almost my whole entire top of my pinky fingernail off, and it hurt like heck. It was terrible. Okay, so here's a trick. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, just to make my little forest look consistent, is I'm using this chalk paste pen. It does not have to be perfect, and I am outlining I like the look of this white, but I suppose you could do this any color that you might want. You could do a whole forest of cardboard with pink, you know, or gold, or whatever you might want. Okay, so that was it. So I have a bunch that I have cut out. Oh, and I did want to say that this shape right here, from this more elaborate tree, is way more difficult to cut out. So as cute as it is, I probably wouldn't recommend that unless you're a real expert with an X-Acto knife, or if you have special scissors, or maybe a thinner cardboard that's easier to cut with scissors. But while I was fooling around this morning, I worked on this one with my pen, and this one with this awesome, I haven't used it yet this year until today, this awesome snowflake stencil. It's an all over pattern. I cut mine in half last year. I can't even remember why. It's okay. I kind of wish I wouldn't have, but it's just fine. So I used one of these and some Magnolia chalk paste to create this. And this one is not quite finished. All I would do is just add the rest of my little random dots. You get the idea. Okay, so let's let me think. I want to show you how I'm getting them to stand up. And this is one that I did this morning also, which I need to draw the line on the bottom. I used this. This is the cutest stencil. I thought the houses and trees was super cute, but oh my goodness, this is adorable. This is called Trees All Over Pattern, or Whimsical Trees, or something like that. And look how cute it is. It's going to be so cute in this forest. So we might come back and do one of those. But I'm planning mostly to just ramble and show you. So basically what I did was at the bottom, I snipped a little cutout. And then I made some little things that will keep my project standing up. The only thing about this particular cardboard is that one side is white and one side is brown. But I'm going to live with it because that's what I have. So this has a little snip in it, and this has a little snip in it. It's no specific dimension. You just have to play around till you get something that works. And I'm just gonna pop a little hot glue in here so it won't keep falling off. Do you guys see what I'm talking about, how that works? So that will help it to stand up. What I love about this project is how affordable everything is. Okay, let's do this taller tree, and then we'll come and decorate a couple. So I think this is the one I did for it. Looks like it could use just a little bit further snip up. I'm using my low temperature hot gluing device, by the way, from Sherbonder, in case you're wondering, why did she stick her fingers in her glue? I just barely turned it on. It's not super hot. So that's what's going to keep that one up. All right, and let's do this one. To make the little stands, you're just going to cut a rectangle basically. And in the middle, it can be however long you want. And in the middle, you're going to make a couple little snips. And then I'm going to cut that out. This will be my little brace. And then in the middle of my tree, I'm going to basically do the same thing. You see, I just cut a little snip there, and it's on the back. I suppose you could leave that on if you wanted. This one is too big. Let's try it again. Let's use this one. It needs to be a narrower. Yes, that will work just fine. Okay, let me put just a little bit of hot glue here. And if I can hold on to it long enough to get it on here. So if you have cardboard of any type, that's going to be way too long, you can use it to make all kinds of things. So let's do one more tree and then we'll start at the beginning. And I don't know why I didn't think about using hot glue when I was working on these yesterday, because they did keep falling apart and I was getting frustrated. Okay, see how cute those all look together? And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this would be the cutest little display to put some twinkle lights around them. Put them on a vintage silver tray, put them on your mantle, put them on a bookshelf. Cut the trees out, let your kids or the little people in your life decorate them. And you don't have to have stencils, but I love them, so I'm going to try some with some stencils. You can do this without that too. Okay, so I have this one that I made before we came live, and then I have this one. It's a little bit shorter, and this one's about the same. Okay, so let's do a middle one. And let's use this little tree doodle pattern, and we'll use a snowflake on another one. To see what do I want where. And it really doesn't even matter. Okay, so I'm using chalk paste, also from Magnolia DIY, just the same as a stencil. And I'm just going to grab some. is very, I think the right word is corrugated. Can you see how bumpy it is? But it stencils great. Pull the big globs off. Okay, you see this? Super duper, 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 duper cute. Let me throw this in my tub of water over here. And get it off my hands. And I'll show you this little tree. Look how cute that is. Isn't that adorable? So I did it on this one and this one. Okay, I'm going to set this over here so I don't bump it while it's drying. Let's use a snowflake on another one. And then we'll doodle on this, okay? How does that sound? So let's just do a quick snowflake and then we'll do a doodly-doo with our pens. This one absolutely does not matter where you put it because it's not an organized pattern that runs vertically or horizontally. It's just random. Just grab some chalk paste. These stencils that I'm using, if you've not ever watched me before, they are from MagnoliaDIY.com. They are reusable many, many, many times. You can use them on all kinds of different surfaces. This one that I'm using right now was either from last year or the year before. I can't remember for sure, but I've had it for a while. Obviously, I cut it in half for some reason last year that I can't even remember this year. Anyways, they're great. Oh my gosh. That is so cute. Okay, this is going in my tub of water. I'm going to get it off my hands. And I'll show you this one, and then we'll doodle. So when this is dry, then I'll do the little snip in the bottom and I'll make the little stand that I will glue on. And I will get photos of a whole forest with this one adorable little gingerbread house, which I made that, just in case you're wondering, I made that with this stencil set that is called Mrs. Claus Quads. And I've had this for at least 3 years, used it tons. Part of that stencil set has this cute little gingerbread house. You get this cute little gingerbread man. You get this hot cocoa station. And then you get this adorable one that says Mrs. Claus Bakery and Cafe. They all come on the same sheet, basically. And so if anyone wants to take a peek at that, just let me know and I will get you the pertinent information. Okay, let's doodle. All right. Let me close my chalk paste and put my lid back on. For this project, I am using this pin set right here. It's like one of my favorites. It's a super good deal too. It's like $14 for 8 pens. You get a gold, silver, black, and white ink that you can use on fabric. You get a gold, silver, black, and white chalk paste that you can use on hard surfaces. You can really use the ink on hard surfaces too. The chalk paste for these markers is going to have a white body. The inks for these have a black body. So I'm just priming my pen. I mean, there's all kinds of designs that you could do. I saw something kind of cute that was like these big roof shingle kind of things. Now that I'm looking at them, they kind of look like, you know what? I'm just being silly. And then you can do whatever different designs that you might want within each. I'm just doing like little slashes here. And then on the top, I'm going to do polka dots. And then in the center, gosh, I would probably just leave that plain. But one thing I would do is I will come back when it's fully dry and go over it a second time. What do you guys think about this whole idea of making a forest out of cardboard? Do you like it? If you do, tell me that you like it. This is like one of my favorite kind of crafts where you're coming up with something basically out of nothing. Okay, here's another idea. You can do kind of like little jig jags. Going diagonally. And I hope you're observing how I'm not neat. And it's not necessary. You could, if you wanted, even glue with hot glue something onto your tree. Pom-poms, bling, buttons. Just depends on what the look is that you're going for. So I will go over all of my lines once it is fully dry, and all combined, these are going to be absolutely adorable. So, just to review, I used my ink and chalk paste markers from Magnolia DIY.com. I used a couple of stencils, which are awesome to have. I use these every year in the winter. The snowflake stuff I can use much longer, you know, in through February. But anyways, and then there's that whimsical tree thing. I use stencils and chalk paste. I used an X-Acto knife and a ruler, and I do caution you to be really careful with that. And then I used cake boards because I didn't have any good cardboard in the garage. My husband already emptied the Chewy box that I was waiting on, and that insert that it comes in it that's such great cardboard is gone. So I was having to make do with what I could find. If I could completely choose a different kind of cardboard, I would choose something that is brown on both sides, very stiff, but not too thick, because the thickness makes it hard to cut it. And ideal would be if you could cut it with scissors rather than having to use an X-Acto knife. Anyways, I think this project would be really fun to do with some little people, and you could cut out, get prepared a bunch of shapes. And I do think that the straight up and down trees are easier to cut and probably easier to decorate as well. But anyways, get some ready. Use some pins, some of these. Use some stencils if you have them. Any all over pattern really could work for it if it was appropriate. Like there's a really cute one, I think it's still available, that says fa la 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 la. There's some other Christmas all over ones. You could do something like my very favorite Victorian pattern or filigree leaf. So if you have any of those all over patterns and some white chalk paste, you could do it that way, or you can just hand draw it. And I showed you how to make the little stands, which I hot glued mine in so that they won't keep falling off. And that's pretty much it. Anyways, if you feel like it, I would love it if you would sprinkle. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. If you want a list of supplies, let me know. And I will include this specific cake board information. It's just from the cake decorating section at Walmart. It's Celebrate brand, but I know there's other brands that have cake boards. I got 5 pieces and it was probably under $5. And I like to use these to craft with, like when I need to go outside and spray something, or if I'm doing something messy that I just want to paint on and then eventually get rid of it. So there you go. Hope you liked this. Hope that you have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. I will post pictures, Lillian. Yes, absolutely. Alrighty. I'll see you guys later.